What is up, guys? I'm Rocket Cactus, and today we are going to be showcasing a weapon that changes the game in terms of rocket launchers within Destiny 2, and that's because it can get a perk that no other rocket launcher can get, so it can do things that no other rocket launcher can do. Very powerful things. And so, let's get started. But just before we do, what do you know, another God Roll. Oh hey, I did see you there thanks to my eagle-eye peepers, and I want to keep them that way, and that's why this video is sponsored by GMG Performance Blue Light Blocking Glasses. This is a company that I've worked with before, and I wear their products all the time. You've probably seen me in the RGH podcast wearing GMG Performance glasses. Now what they do is limit the amount of blue light your eyes intake. Blue light comes out of really every single kind of screen. If you're in front of a computer screen, if you're on your phone all day long, working or gaming or whatever you're doing, you need to protect your vision. And wearing blue light glasses will absolutely do so. Guys, I wear these all the time, like I said, but sometimes I get lazy like everyone and I don't. The difference in my eyes in days where I'm wearing these and where I'm not is crazy. They're itchy, they're irritated by the end of the night. You don't want that, so definitely cop you a pair of GMGs. There are so many different fantastic styles. They come in an awesome little, look at this, little great little storage thing, and even come with a screen or a lens cleaner. Fantastic! So, if you want to get one yourself, the best news is that for the next 48 hours, they're 40% off. Like, they're almost half off. Click the link in the description down below, get you a pair, your eyes will thank you. Alright, now the weapon we're showcasing is the Hezen Vengeance Rocket Launcher. This comes from the brand new Vault of Glass raid, which means actually this is a pretty farmable weapon, because all you need to do is get it once and beat the raid one time, and if you need to know how to do that, I've done a complete raid guide that is linked up above, guys. But if you do beat that raid, at the end of it, there's an artifact you can interact with that's essentially a vendor where you can spend your spoils of conquest on raid loot. And if you combine that with a spoil farming technique, again, I've done a video on that, guys, you can get over 100 spoils in an hour, and then you can just go and buy Hezen Vengeances over and over and over and over again. So again, this is actually a really farmable weapon. It's really easy if you do that to just constantly buy this weapon until you get the utter God Roll. But what is that utter God Roll? Well, it all revolves around, again, a perk that the Hezen Vengeance can get that no other rocket launcher has ever been able to get ever before in Destiny 2, and that perk is Overflow. Now, you've actually probably been seeing Overflow a lot recently. Bungie has been putting it on a lot more weapons, but usually we find it on primary weapons. Stuff like the Palindrome can get it, the Shadow Price can get it, and what it says is the following. Picking up special or heavy ammo reloads this weapon to beyond normal capacity. And that is a really good PvE effect. On the examples I gave with the Shadow Price, you run over some special ammo, as long as you're not already full on special, your magazine will instantly jump up to like 90 rounds no matter what you had in the magazine before. So why is it so good on a rocket launcher? Well, firstly, rocket launchers are a really big part of the PvE meta. They got a huge 30% damage buff last season with Season of the Chosen, and a bunch of good rocket launchers were introduced that season. The Royal Entry dropping from Strikes, we got the Battlegrounds one, the Trials one even is quite good. So there's already a lot of competition, and rocket launchers are already part of some insane DPS strategies. But again, Overflow, the first time it's showing up on a rocket launcher, allows you to do some really saucy things. Firstly, just the base effect of Overflow is great on a rocket launcher. What most people envision is, okay, I've got one round in the magazine, I run over some heavy or some special, and now I've got 2 rounds. And just that effect, being able to shoot 2 rounds before needing to reload, means that you can put forth a ton of damage. Rocket launcher reloads are pretty darn slow, and rocket launcher reloader mods are really darn expensive in terms of energy usually, so being able to negate the need for that is already good. But there's another very important effect, and that is the instant reload from empty. So if I have my Hezen Vengeance with Overflow with no rounds in the magazine, as you can see, I run over some heavy and it instantly refills my magazine to 2 rounds. No reload animation, it's quite literally instant. The time at which you run over the ammo and you can shoot is like 1 millisecond. So that is a really powerful ability as well. And it's that ability that we can hone into and kind of abuse to do the absolute spiciest things in terms of damage output. So, right now, one of the highest DPS strategies in the entire game involves rocket launchers. You use the Izanagi's Burden exotic sniper rifle and then a rocket with auto-loading. Most people out there, they consider the Rocket God Roll to be auto-loading plus lasting impression. That is going to deal the most damage. And then what you do is you shoot your auto-loading rocket, you go to your Izanagi's Burden, and in the time it takes you to reload that magazine to get that powerful shot off and then shoot it, you switch back to your rocket and it has reloaded. Again, the damage you can put forth by swapping between those two things is astronomical. It's really good. But with Overflow, you might be able to surpass that damage. So what you need to do is the following. You need to place yourself in a position where you can damage a boss in an area where there's a ton of special ammo bricks around you. So if it just happens that a couple enemies drop some special ammo in one place, you just stand there, or you can utilize a special ammo finisher to purposely place the special ammo bricks somewhere. Technically this works with heavy as well, but that's a lot harder to do. Then you obviously get your Hezen Vengeance reloaded to 2 rounds in the magazine, and then you make sure that you have full special ammo, and then you just stand on that area where there's multiple special ammo bricks, and the result is what you saw at the very beginning of the video. You shoot your first 2 rounds of the Hezen Vengeance, and then you swap to your special weapon, which is full. Then you shoot 1 shot, either waste it or shoot it at the boss for DPS. Then it's going to reload 1 round into your special because of the special bricks lying around. That's going to trigger Overflow, so when you switch back to your Hezen Vengeance, it's instantly reloaded with another 2 rounds. Shoot off those 2, switch to your special, shoot 1 shot, back to the Hezen Vengeance, and you can do this to shoot every single shot of the Hezen Vengeance 2 in a row, and it completely, if you can set this up, embarrasses autoloading. You have to wait around 4 seconds for autoloading to put 1 round into your rocket launcher. With Overflow, by just standing on some special bricks, you can instantly reload it. Like, it's literally instant, no need for waiting around. You just need to, frankly, have a special weapon with quick draw if you really want to make the DPS insane. But just the burst damage of getting off all your rocket launcher shots this fast, no need for reloads, is truly absurd. Especially when you consider you really only need to do this once. You really need to only set it up with 1 special ammo brick, because that means you're going to shoot 4 almost instantaneous rockets. That is a lot of damage in a very short amount of time, and you can start combining it with special weapons that make this really good. For example, what you're seeing right here, the Wither Horde, that inflicts damage over time, and with the combination of the Breach and Clear mod, also inflicts a 30% damage debuff to the enemy. So I can Wither Horde, switch to my Hezen Vengeance, shoot off 2 rounds, switch back to the Wither Horde, which is potentially auto-loaded itself, shoot that, switch back to my Hezen Vengeance for another 2 rounds. And if that is what you want to use this for, then you're definitely going for the max DPS roll, which is actually the roll I got. Firstly, you want impact casing for just more damage. You obviously want overflow, and then you do want lasting impression. That is going to give you the highest damage possible. But there's actually a few other good perks you can get instead here. This can get Cluster Bomb, which is going to be much better against the adds while still providing a damage bonus. But honestly, what I'm going for is Vorpal Weapon. Vorpal Weapon does more damage against bosses and vehicles and elites and mini bosses. It does more damage against anything you want to deal extra damage against, basically. But it only does barely less damage than Lasting Impression. Like, we're talking 5%, 4% less damage, but Vorpal is significantly better against the ads. Unfortunately, in collecting gameplay with this thing, it absolutely trucks, big enemies, bosses and stuff, but Lasting is so bad against ads. You shoot it and the ads either already die or they move away, and it's really hard to set up. So I would take Vorpal, do a tiny bit less damage, and have a significantly easier to use rocket launcher any day of the week. However, if I'm damaging a raid boss, and if I can set up this insane overflow auto-loading loop, I do want Lasting Impression for just absolute max DPS. And so guys, that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That's linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.